You are listening to the Daily Gospel Reflections with Sister Cloth. This podcast is brought to you by the Paulines Multimedia. It is our mission to bring the Word of God to all peoples through sounds and images, voices, and music. Come and join us as we share with you a thought a day. Our reading for today is lifted from the Gospel of St. Luke chapter 18, verses 9 to 14. Jesus also told this parable to some who trusted in themselves that they were righteous and regarded others with contempt. Two men went up to the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee, standing by himself, was praying thus, "God, I thank you that I am not like other people, thieves, rogues, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week. I give a tenth of all my income." But the tax collector, standing far off, would not even look up to heaven, but was beating his breast and saying, "God, be merciful to me, a sinner." I tell you, this man went down to his home justified rather than the other. For all who exalt themselves will be humbled, but all who humble themselves will be exalted. It is Saturday. Let us spend this day in the company of our Blessed Mother. Have you by any chance encountered selfish people who are like the Pharisees in today's Gospel, who think of themselves as better than others in many aspects, especially in religious observance? Jesus warns us not to be like them, but to learn from the publican who honestly admitted his limitations and sinfulness. During the time of Jesus, the publicans were the tax collectors. They were looked down upon with contempt and were generally considered sinners. What scenario do we have in today's gospel? From the reading we have just heard, Jesus told us a parable of the two men who went to the temple to pray. One was a Pharisee and the other a publican. We also have heard how they prayed. I could imagine the publican feeling even more humiliated when the Pharisee made a litany of all his good deeds and said that he was not like the others who were thieves, swindlers, adulterers, and like him, a tax collector. All the publican could say was, "God, be merciful to me, a sinner," who was absolved from his sins. The reading says it was the publican, not the self-righteous Pharisee. In ordinary situations, we are easily turned off by people who brag a lot. Almost no one likes a show-off, but almost everyone likes to show off, at least a little, says a doctor of psychology. But why brag? Probably it is because the people who are inclined to do this lack self-esteem and self-confidence. So they take satisfaction in showing off their achievements. But it is said that the best way to brag about ourselves to others is perhaps not to brag at all. Let the others do it for us, if they will. Besides, our culture expects us to be modest, and if we act otherwise, people will undoubtedly be turned off. Suppose we have social norms to govern our behavior in groups and societies. In that case, today's gospel has also inspired biblical words for us Christians to guide us as we go through life and encounter new people and situations that call for our humility. So, we want to keep this in mind. For those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. Be with us again tomorrow as we share with you a thought a day. Meanwhile, you can follow us and listen to other Apple and Google podcasts on Spotify, produced by Paulines Multimedia. Have a good day.